Hi friends, David here from Above AVL and of course Learn Christmas Lighting, and here we want to talk about moving heads. So I've got my layout popped up here and we'll dive into it in a minute, and I want to talk about when it comes to programming, when it comes to sequencing moving heads, specifically with what we call the new moving head effect, though it does have an actual name, the advanced moving, I don't know, we'll look it up. A lot of people get into it and it can be really confusing, and it's like, whoa, there's a lot to deal with here. Am I doing the right things? And ultimately, the question we want to answer in today's video, after I've spent a ton of time with this effect, is how do I make stuff that actually looks good, right? Because ultimately, just like the last video where we worked through, hey, here's how to make moving heads look great just in terms of angles, positioning, the features you use or don't use, making really great, awesome looking stuff in xLights isn't something that just kind of happens, right? It takes a little bit of work to get there, though it is easier than it used to be with the older effects. So let's dive in. I've got my personal layout here just to walk you through it. My house, my casa here, and we've got ourselves three on this past year's show, 3 of the Dominar XLs on the ground and 4 of the Dominar X up in the air. Odd numbers, actually odd because it's 7, but it's kind of what we had on hand. And so I threw those XLs out there. It was a lot of fun to work with them. Killer fixture. Anywho, so let's go in here and just make a quick animation. And I know I am the absolute worst at making my at doing my layout. But here we've got our moving heads. This one that's declared all is just the Dominar X's, the ones on the roof. And let me redock my windows because I realized that I had the house preview over in the other land, and also xLights, which I love, is not great for trackball users, so I have a mouse connected so I can scroll over like this. Okay, so all that to say, how do you make stuff that looks awesome with moving heads in xLights? So this will be a basic tutorial. So the first thing, guys, is always like having a really good custom model that has everything correct in it, correctly defined, is going to be like 90% of the battle. Like, that's a really important prerequisite to making sure things are going to rock and roll really well once you're actually programming in xLights. If you get into the effects and your moving heads aren't seeming to do the correct things, most of the time it's a model issue. And that's where, again, like, not only are the Dominar moving heads some of the best loved ones in the industry, people have had them now since 2021, I think, and many of them still going strong from that original batch. Not a lot of other vendors can say that, but we have really well thought out moving head models. In fact, one of the things I absolutely hate, this is crazy to me, is that there are folks selling moving heads, okay, in the market. Let me go find, I know my layout's a mess, where even on the color section here, they do not have the actual colors defined. And I think that's just ridiculous. There's no reason why someone wouldn't have every single channel and every single attribute mapped. So drag in your moving head effect, aka the new moving head effect, and let's walk through some basics of how to make stuff that looks good. I'm also going to go ahead and generate a timing track real quick. I wonder if I don't have the QM Vamp installed currently. On this computer, I do lots of installing and uninstalling, so you never quite know what's going to happen. But we've got a timing track there. We've got our effect. Now let's get rolling, because there's definitely things in this effect that I think are not super obvious, but can be super helpful. So they made a lot of improvements since this effect first came out, and that's part of why we need to make this video, because, you know, some of our older stuff that we've talked about this effect just aren't relevant anymore because they fixed it. So the first thing you might notice if you're paying attention is that all of my fixtures are selected, MH1, 2, MH3, MH4, which you set the individual MHs to those numbers. On the layout tab, it's just right at the top here, fixture number, okay. MH1, you have through 8, okay. So you set those up, you bring it in, it'll be, when you import a fixture, they'll all be set to 1, so you've got to set those up, okay. And it's automatically select those, it's automatically put us in the per model default render style. These are important so that the effect actually works. Okay, so the first tab, just to walk you through, is the position. Okay, so this is where your moving heads are in the world. Of course, they don't seem to be moving, which is so cute. And so this is what happens when you go to do a video. Okay, occasionally, for whatever reason, and I am actually running a bunch of stuff in the background right now as I shoot this, which is maybe not the best thing. Sometimes it takes a second to render up, which seems to be what was going on there, because now it's rocking and rolling. Okay, so this is the position, okay, kind of the base position of the moving head. And so especially if you're importing, this is probably what you'll work with the most, is just going, hey, this is where the import had the effect. This is where I am adjusting it to for my layout. As we mentioned in our previous video, of course, we'll link it, getting those nice and low as you can go, generally is going to look the best, give you the most pop through the air. You also have the ability in the bottom here to fan, where's my scroll bar? There should be a fan tilt down there, and for some reason, there's my scroll bars. So you're able to fan, which means you spreading them out horizontally or vice versa, and tilt, which is, we'll turn this to 0, which is a spread vertically. That one's not used as much, but it can make some really great effects, so don't discount it. Then we have grouping. So like, for example, if I do this, if I fan it, and then I stick it in a grouping of 2, now every 2 heads is doing the fanning instead of all 4. So again, different look, something interesting, way easier than the old effect to make interesting positions just as a starting point. So we're just gonna start here with a nice fanned out look. And the next thing, the thing actually you probably did before this, is you go to the dimmer tab, okay? So this is where you can turn the dimmer on and off within this effect. There are definitely positives and negatives to it. And so the negatives are that, you really just have this basic control where for the duration of effect, you've got the ability to, either create like a curve, but not really curve, but a straight, on, off, or like I've created here, this one just has a fade in at the start and at the end, but you can't really customize the time in seconds. It's just about how far the effect is and what percentage of the effect it takes up. It does show your active timing track on there, which is handy, but for more advanced users, or if you're wanting to get better control, definitely recommend going ahead and having a moving head intensity group, which my layout it's down here, or individual intensities where you can place the on effect on that, okay? Right? So you can place the on effect on it, and that's going to do the same thing, okay? With that, of course, then you could do things with timing tracks and have it either pulsing, have it just creating a bunch of timing tracks or a bunch of on effects matched up with the timing tracks. Sometimes that's going to be a much better result, okay? But let's just say, we're in here. We'll go back to having it turn on and off. Okay, that's interesting. The other thing is, of course, on this dimmer, this intensity control tab, it's all of the moving heads at once. Now, you can, of course, select, every other, right? And maybe you go ahead and you flip all these, which again is not, it's all right, but it's not the easiest thing, right? And so that's where for intensity, a lot of times, using other effects may make a lot of sense. That being said, things can be done. Okay, next, pathing. This is probably the thing people are going to use the most, and there are definitely a few misconceptions here. Okay, so the pathing is a 360-degree circle. It is not the DMX values for your pan and tilt. Okay, it's physically places in space. So what that means is if you draw a line from here to here, and then you close it, or hit escape to close, not quite center, you will see as those moving heads move from side to side that they actually go up and down a little bit because it's about the space in the 360-degree world versus actually pan and tilt. Again, not a problem, just something to be aware of. So this is where you can really create some interesting stuff. You see here we've got them going one way, pulsing on and off, looks pretty neat. Matching this up with the dimmer control can actually do a lot. So say we do this, we just have them turn on and we have them running one side to the other. Then we enter some time offset, okay? Now they all do it at slightly different times. And then, for the drum roll please, we go back to this first tab and we change the cycle amount. So the cycle amount means that now it's doing the whole effect. This is over the whole effect multiple times within, let's just go to like 4, within the amount of time that we are stretched out. So when you do that, you start to get into some more interesting stuff, because now I can go ahead and I can say, okay, maybe I just do it twice just to make it a little more dramatic. Then I can go and I can adjust my pathing to be a little more interesting. So maybe we go out and back and then close. Okay. And then we go ahead and set a time offset that's just a little bit and do just pan, ignore the tilt. And then we've got something that looks kind of interesting. Okay. Really could go with our music, create some interesting sweeps. Colors. Colors threw me off at first. So they have the ability here to select colors on a color wheel, and that can work pretty well, but doing it just on the color mixer tab here is not the best option for most users, because most beam moving heads, which are the popular ones in this hobby, have a physical color wheel. This shows you where the colors actually lay out on the color wheel, which is a big deal, because when you're going from one color to another, it has to transition through every other color in the wheel. So for best looks, you want to go from colors that are close to each other, either right next to each other or close by. It's going to look more chaotic if you're going through colors on the way. So for example, if I go from red to blue, and if I looked at this in real life, it would not look this cool because you would see the flicker through green. Okay. And so that's where, going white to red has always been a popular chase, and it works really well. Okay. Now notice you get numbers on these colors. This confused me for the longest time, but this allows you to actually kind of make a chase that, again, respects the total length of the effect and, of course, the cycles of the effect. So it's happening twice within the bounds of this effect. When you click on these, it's like you can go 1, 2, and then you can click more and more. You got to make sure to not unclick them. And then just for fun, we'll switch to green. So now you see it's going red to white 3 times, and then it's going to green, allowing you to create some definitely interesting, more different stuff. Okay, now, the last thing about moving heads, a lot of people have different thoughts about moving heads, okay? And, when you should use them, when you shouldn't use them, right? And a lot of people say, oh man, don't go ahead and use them all the time. It just, takes away from the show, right? And I've got to disagree with that. I think the way that a lot of people use moving heads, yes, it's going to take away from the show, because you get a lot of people and they're like, okay, we're just going ahead and we're pointing them in one direction or another, right? Maybe we go and we just do a slight pan fan together, and it's like, oh, we take them over here, and now we're making a sweep, and so we'll go back to one cycle. We go on the pathing, and it's like, oh, we're just doing this sweep across. Come on, xLights, you could do it. Okay, so I realized what I did wrong is I had dragged cycles down to 0. Some of you were probably yelling that at the screen. And now it's much better. Okay, so in that case, what we've got basically is, you might go ahead and have it pointed one direction, okay? And then go, oh, okay, now we're going to do this path, which, let me clear that and have my path back that I was doing. And so it's like, woo, we've got them all going one way and another. We're going to get you. We're going to get you. And, that looks all right, but there really is a lot more you can do. So there's a lot of really cool things you could do in here. Sometimes you run an effect, okay, and you will see the moving heads kind of flip around. Like they're supposed to just be doing a circle, and they're not. They're flipping around. Okay, this is a problem that happens when you have them basically crossing a center point or an end point of the 360-degree rotation. So for our models, we put that end point at the side of the viewport, basically, like over here, so that as long as you're kind of at the front and in the middle, you'll never see that flip around happen. Basically, the problem is that it's looking at 360 degrees, the effect is. The moving heads can technically do 540 degrees. So if you set up your model poorly, I would say, and put that center point in the middle, then what's going to happen is that's going to be the turnover point where it flips. So the pan and tilt value of the moving head, it could go straight across, but because the effect works out at 360 degrees, that's the 0 to 360 point. So I recommend putting that to the side, to the back, somewhere that you're not going to run into it a lot, so that you avoid seeing flips like, come on, moving head effect. Now it's not doing it, but you saw it like that. So you avoid seeing flips like that where it's like flipping around. That's a sign, though it is kind of cool in some cases, that you're definitely doing something wrong. So the long and short of it is, creating really cool moving head effects in xLights can definitely take some time. And there's definitely still places where kind of the old school method of using the DMX effect and taking the pan and tilt channels and creating a sweep with a value curve can still work. But when it comes to effects that have little offsets to them and you know, are doing circle type effects or figure eights, and you have all the fixtures slightly out of time for each other, the new moving head effect definitely rocks. Adding to that, the ability to you know, control the colors and be able to create some interesting chases there can really help you create stuff that looks great and matches your music perfectly. Definitely lean on your timing tracks. You can enter those in lots of places here. Okay, anywhere that you see the value curve means that you can change, you can adjust that timing track throughout the actual playing, but it's definitely not available on the dimmer. So that's where it often makes more sense to create a group with all your intensity or dimmer channels and run that as an on effect, single strand, something like that. But hopefully that gets you started with the moving head effect, with creating some stuff that actually looks useful. Of course, if you don't have moving heads yet, grab the Dominar X models. They're available on our website. Import them and start working with them. They're able to be used so that you can play with the moving heads, get started with them. Even if you don't end up going with our model, it'll give you a good start with an awesome model. The top thing that I see people banging their heads on are model issues, and that's why we have created models, because it's going to make your life so much easier to have a really well thought out, really great created model. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.